Hi everyone, welcome to ED 1421. My name is Annalise Mitchell and I'm your tutor for this subject. This video is one of a series of videos that I'll be creating for this subject. It is intended as a guide and an overview of each week, providing you with some guidance on what to expect, but also some information that is included in your subject outline on LearnJCU and in the LibGuides. This subject is called Foundations in Language and Literacy Education. It is one of my favourite subject areas and I look forward to discussing the ideas with you. Now before we begin, it is essential to see the subject outline located on LearnJCU for further details and clarification of information contained in this PowerPoint. I cannot emphasize enough that the subject outline is your most important document. You need to ensure that you read it carefully and you record all the important dates in your diary. So, as a student of education or any other subject area, do you have an interest in language? Well, I think you certainly will after studying this subject, as it highlights the importance of understanding language and how it is central to how we make meaning. After decades of research, it has been found that understanding the role of language is vital to any form of study and is central to how we think. In other words, it is through language how we make meaning. This insight is fascinating as it reveals how powerful language can be. Now, for some details about the subject. This subject has been designed to provide an introduction to contemporary theories and practices about language and literacy education. Through the readings and discussion board, we'll be examining theories and practices that are central to language acquisition, literacy teaching and learning, and oracy, which is oral language. To help ensure that we learn as much as we can, all of our readings will be applied to the real world of teaching and learning. I have found that by applying what we learn to what we have experienced, either in our childhood or in the realm of the classroom, this really helps ensure that we remember what we have learnt. Now, the aim of the subject is for you to develop an awareness of how central language is to our social and personal identity. So as I said before, you will learn how language shapes how you see the world and how others see the world. You'll also develop an understanding of the notion of discourse and other language varieties and concepts. The word discourse will become very familiar by the end of the course, and for good reason, as it is a very powerful concept, and you will learn throughout the course just how powerful it is. You'll also become familiar with current theories of how people acquire their first and second language. And lastly, you'll gain further skills in academic writing, which will hold you in good stead for the remainder of the subject. Now, to help you prepare yourself to do well in this subject, I would ensure that I engaged with the weekly readings and activities. I would also ensure that I participated in discussion of learning materials. However, what I think is most fundamental to success is to ensure that you apply what you learn through the textbooks and the LibGuides and in the discussion boards to the real world of teaching and learning. I think when you relate what you are learning to what you already know, you're able to recall what you have learned, and there is a greater chance of the material becoming a part of your conceptual framework, which is basically what is the aim of education. Now, I'm just going to provide a very brief overview of the assessment tasks. As outlined, the assessment task 1 will be a written assignment, which is in the form of an essay. Assessment task 2 will be a presentation. Assessment task 3 will include a series of analytical written tasks. And lastly, assessment task 4 will entail an exam. Again, see the subject outline for dates, task requirements and other details. Further detail of assessment requirements will be provided by Dr. Pauline Taylor throughout the semester, so don't worry too much if it's still a little bit vague. You will get further clarification as the semester goes on, which is great. Now, to be successful in this subject, you will need to participate in the discussion board forum and make weekly entries into your personal journal, both of which are located on LearnJCU. For the discussion board, you will be required to share information and ideas with your peers. Section 4 of the LibGuide will provide you with the discussion board questions. And in regards to the personal journal, each week you'll be required to reflect on the weekly readings and the module's key concepts in a personal journal located on LearnJCU. The journal entries will be used for your analytical writing tasks that are required for Assessment 3. Again, see Section 5 of the LibGuide for personal journal questions. Now you probably have been wondering, what are the LibGuides? Well, the LibGuide for ED 1421 will be your go-to for learning the content of the subject. It contains 10 modules, and the first module is called What is Language? Each week will include a different module with focus questions for the discussion board and the personal journal entries. What is essential to remember and record in your diary is that these entries must be completed each week. To achieve the best results, it is highly recommended for you to engage with other students on the discussion board on a weekly basis. Please try to avoid making multiple entries, as it means that you haven't engaged with your peers during the weeks that you were discussing the materials, that they were discussing the materials, and you are unlikely to receive feedback on your ideas. Now to wrap up, if you have any further questions, please post questions on LearnJCU or contact me directly at annalise.mitchell2@jcu.edu.au. And that is all. Thank you for listening to the first video for ED 1421 in 2014. Next week I'll be presenting a video for Module 2. Thanks again. Bye for now.